Fox Sports 910, Benjamin Garcia, executive producer, super producer, Benjamin Garcia filling in for Jody Ayler today on The Drive. This was something that got put out there yesterday. Whether it was Woj, whether it was Stephen A. Smith, whether it was Brian Windhorst, Devin Booker. The Houston Rockets want Devin Booker. The Houston Rockets want Kevin Durant. The New York Knicks want Devin Booker. Let's put all these to rest. We saw Matt Ishbia yesterday tweet out, and I'll read it again for you, for those who didn't see it. Quote, the NBA draft night is the best. Everyone's talking about the drama and storylines. Some are right and some are just wrong. My turn. Phoenix loves Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant loves Phoenix. We are competing for a championship this year because we have the team to do it. Gotta love draft night. Go Suns, end quote. That was the Suns governor. That was the Suns owner last night, Matt Ishbia, coming out and throwing cold water all over the forest fire that was Kevin Durant trade speculation. And then there was kind of something that was lost in the weeds that was so egregious that even Matt Ishbia didn't feel like coming out and poured cold water on X, Twitter, because it was so insane. Stephen A. Smith, we played it for you yesterday. Stephen A. Smith basically said the Phoenix Suns want out of Kevin Durant. Woj said Houston Rockets covet Devin Booker. Brian Windhorst being a little too high on his horse from last year's breaking stories, or this year going after Luka Doncic, trying to act like the smartest guy in the room. Just like I go after players, I'm going to go after analysts too. Stephen A. Smith should be ashamed. He really should be. Stephen A. Smith might be the least reliable person when it comes to information. Like, it's really dangerous at this point. Dangerous in a sports term, in a sports sense. But Stephen A. Smith yesterday, just talking about, remember a couple weeks ago? The Knicks want Devin Booker. They're trying to get Devin Booker. It was nonsense. Devin Booker wants to be in New York. It was nonsense. It was a lie. I don't know if it was a ploy to try to get Devin Booker on his favorite team. But like at this point, he's just being reckless. And for a guy that wants, I think it was like $20+ million a year from ESPN, dude, what do you add? I get you're a personality, and I get people like you. But if getting you $20 million a year, you can just say whatever you want, then heck, put me on ESPN. Guess what? Steph Curry wants to be in Phoenix. I can't give you my source, but that's what it was told me. Anthony Davis as well wants to be in Phoenix. If I can just do that and not face any repercussions for it, why don't I just do that? Why don't I just start a forest fire with these trade rumors? Anthony Edwards, sources tell me, he wants to be in Phoenix for a vet minimum. And the Suns quietly are trying to acquire him. Like, what are we doing, Stephen A? What are we doing? A few weeks ago, it was him trying to get Devin Booker on the Knicks. I don't know what it was. It's atrocious reporting. He's got to stop cosplaying as this newsbreaker. He's just bad at it. And he's reckless. And whether it's the Suns or another team, anything that comes out of Stephen A. Smith's mouth, I feel like is just a lie. Which makes me believe his commentary on sports just less, because I'm not sure he believes it. ESPN has got to start having some greater repercussions for this guy. Because it's just nonsense. The Suns are done with Kevin Durant. There's no truth to that. They've only stood by him. And how would you get the story? Why would they want that out as they're publicly saying how much they love Kevin Durant? Woj the other day, talking nonsense. At this point, Adrian Wojnarowski is just a mouthpiece for agents and teams. Phoenix Suns clearly don't want to trade Kevin Durant. It feels like Shams Charania at this point is the only reliable guy. Remember Chris Haynes a couple years ago kept on getting stories wrong? I don't think he meant to do that. I just think he's a second or third tier reporter to Woj or Shams. He doesn't get everything wrong. I don't think he's bad. I just don't think he's in the upper echelon of story breakers like Shams or Woj. And I don't think he's reckless either, like Stephen A. But at some point, when is ESPN going to come down on these guys? Because this is just nonsense. It's just false. And in an era of misinformation and everyone acting like they really care what's right and what's wrong in terms of what's being reported, that's fine. Can we get some consistency, please? Because you're damaging the reputation of Kevin Durant, who would be seen as a trade hopper, a team hopper, and Devin Booker. There are some people, I'm sure, that believe Stephen A. Smith in Phoenix that are like, Devin Booker wants to be in New York, trade him. Why would I like this guy? Stephen A. Smith has been reckless. It's just buffoon reporting, and I'd be really frustrated if I was the Phoenix Suns. And ESPN and Stephen A. Smith, who are in a contract stalemate right now, ESPN offered $18 million. Stephen A. Smith wants $20+ million. Dude, aside from being a theatrical character for some reason that people enjoy, I'm not a big Stephen A. Smith guy. But I understand the appeal to Stephen A. Smith. He is entertaining to an entertaining sense. I'd never go to him for sports knowledge. I think he's a good social media analyst, which means he's fun. I look at clips. I think he's funny. But this misinformation, this just clearly wrong reporting, at some point, dude, check your sources if you actually believe what you're saying. Can you check your sources on this? Could you release your sources? Because you've only been wrong about everything. So at this point, anything that comes out of Stephen A. Smith's mouth is just nonsense. Just nonsense. And don't believe it. And ESPN, I hope they had some conversations with this guy. Because I think he's very good at his job as a theatrical standpoint. I think he's fun to watch. But Stephen A., the reporter, let's hang it up, bro.